But I mean, talking about, let's go back to the oral bit. You talked about he being economical with the truth. How was he economical, and what's wrong with the response he gave?
Because the creatures of the Constitution, have been named or mentioned in the Constitution. ORA is not one of them. So, as Attorney General designate, he should be able to tell the general public, the legality or otherwise of ORA. The moment I read about ORA and I was interviewed, I pointed out that ORA, has no support in law. Now, if we are looking at, constitutional bodies, to carry out the task that ORA is doing now, we have several of them. You have the police, you have the DNI, you have SHRAT, you have the YOKO. What is ORA going to do that, these bodies, amongst others, cannot do or are not doing? And then only 2 days ago, my good friend Martin Pebu, informed the whole nation that the NIB boss, has surrendered vacant possession of something. It is not in the functions of ORA to decide, issues with finality as they've done. And this is one of the problems we are going to have with ORA. I would, suggest to President Mahama to just revoke, the appointment and creation of ORA so that they don't, exceed their bounds. They may be meaning well, but from my perspective, ORA, is just to settle political goals. We don't need that sort of thing. And I don't think John Mahama, the greatest threat to President John Mahama, he wants, to surround himself or immerse himself, in controversy. This ORA thing, is going to be, his own undoing. ORA can mar. At the same time, they can also, give some good tips. But overall, ORA is going to be one of the several entities that incoming administrators, and presidents have established, only to realize that the members of the committee will take the law into their own hands and do, what commonsensically, should not be done. But they will do it, to the embarrassment of the person, who set it up. I think the earlier he scrapped it, the better.
Even if it's grounded in 41F, which says it is one of the duties of a citizen to protect and preserve public property and expose and combat misuse of and waste of public funds and property, even if it's grounded on that.
So in the wisdom of the framers of the Constitution, such information should be passed on to the several constitutionally created bodies, like the police.
And I know what ORA seeks to do, a team of people tasked with compiling information.
Accountability. My brother, accountability. Former President Rawlings preached accountability from 1981 until he died. Did he have any recourse, to create ORA?
Now, you say this body is, we are expected to report to appropriate bodies. In setting up the 5-member committee, their mandate is to gather information and hand it over. You've heard spokesperson of John Mahama say, once an attorney general is appointed, he takes over, and this team would hand over the information gathered. What is wrong with gathering information?
I'm not suggesting by any means that, gathering information is wrong. I'm saying that what is wrong is the whole idea or the concept of oral. Orality at this time is unnecessary, totally uncalled for. Whether, it is grounded in 41, F or whatever, it is uncalled for. We have institutions, that are already in place. They can go to YOKO, they can go to the police, they can go to SHRAG, they can go to the military, they can anywhere. Or the whistleblowers, statute, for instance, is that you just go and give the information, the 10% that you'll be giving, if that is why, you gathered the information and provided it to the appropriate court, no problem. But lay a complaint under our jurisprudence, it's first and foremost a duty of every Ghanaian citizen. But the parameters are not the same. There are certain occasions that you have to, lay the complaint to the police, sometimes to Yoko, sometimes to the BNI, other times to CID, and this thing. We don't need, another body, because the Constitution does not, it did not in the first place anticipate the establishment of an entity to be called or designated ORA. All those entities the Constitution adumbrated at the time, the payments were considering it, have been, were positioned in the Constitution. If we allow, our leaders, to always come up with new entities or, in the throes of accountability, there will come a time when we'll have many more committees doing the same thing, and then, there'll be infighting at the end of the day. My submission, once again, is that ORA is devoid of legality and as such must be scrapped.